Hey, what's going on guys? Morendai here with another video, and today we're going to be unboxing Bandai Super Saiyan Vegito. But as always, before getting to the figure, let's have a quick look at the box. Alright, so I was really excited to get to this figure because Vegito is my absolute favorite character in the Dragon Ball franchise. I should also mention that I was originally going to begin this entire series with him instead of my Dragon Ball Legend Super Saiyan Gogeta. However, at the time, I had already begun scripting the Gogeta unboxing first, so I naturally continued with him instead. I've always loved Vegito's overall aesthetic design and personality, and I've always felt that it struck that perfect balance of embodying Goku and Vegeta's mental and physical traits almost equally. But above all else, I absolutely love the Potara earrings and that method of fusion because of how it was originally described in the series and manga, and I've always felt that it was special and unique. With that being said, let's get him unpacked and put together so we can talk about the figure. And here's a quick layout of everything once it's out of the box. Now, one thing to keep in mind after lining up the slot to his upper and lower body properly is that it might be a very tight fit, or at least it was on my figure, so if need be, don't be afraid to apply extra pressure to ensure that both are fully connected to each other. And something else you can do if you run into the same issue is apply a little bit of dish soap to both ends, which should help them slide into place much easier. As for this stand, it snaps together with a key peg, so just like with Vegito's upper and lower body, make sure to align both properly, and once you connect the arm to the base, you should hear a click. Now, I'm not 100% sure, but I also think that might be permanent, so once they join, they'll be stuck in that form forever. Getting Vegito on the stand itself is another story, and for my figure in particular, what I mentioned earlier about using dish soap as a lubricant really came in handy, because no matter how hard I tried, the back end of his right leg wouldn't peg in properly to the stand, and it came to the point where I actually had to struggle with it off camera. And we're back. So after all of that, make sure to give it one nice final firm push, and we can have a look at Super Vegito. And god damn, I love him. The pose he's in is absolutely amazing, and that's exactly what grabbed my attention when I first saw him. And something to note is that even though he's smaller in scale compared to my other two figures, links for which by the way are in the description, is still packed with just as much detail. For me personally, intricate detail is something that draws me to a figure, and when looking at Vegito at a closer glance, the fact that he is a much smaller scale makes me appreciate those little intricacies even more. Every part of him feels complete, from the detailed lines in his hair, the wrinkles and folds in his clothing, and even the seam lines on his boots, and the more I look at him, the more I enjoy the figure. The details on his gloves is something that I find really satisfying, and just how well the palm and seam lines are done, and I especially love the shading, definition, and muscle separation as you move down along his arm. The likeness to his anime counterpart is on point, and I think Bandai did a really good job. I definitely feel like I'm holding a miniature version of him popping right out of the anime, and the look of intensity in his expression is simply badass. One minor issue that's most likely exclusive to just my figure was a small smudge of orange paint on his right glove, but it's hardly noticeable and doesn't take away at all from his overall aesthetic, so it's something that I can easily overlook. The base of the stand is nice and wide and supports his weight relatively well, and with it being just under 6 inches or 15 centimeters, it won't take up much room when he's on display at all. My only issue with the stand itself is that I wish it was made of a sturdier material, because it does feel flimsy compared to the figure. In terms of height, Vegito stands at 7 inches tall, or just over 17 centimeters, and to get a better visual of his overall scale, here he is next to my Dragon Ball Legend Super Saiyan Gogeta, and the Greatest Saiyan Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. Overall, he's a great figure, and out of the 3 that I have so far, my personal favorite. And yeah, part of that is because of personal bias, but even with that aside, his pros absolutely outweigh the cons. Other than the base being flimsy and not as sturdy as the figure, he really doesn't have any downsides at all, and is definitely worth picking up in my opinion. As usual, I was able to get mine from GameStop, but as always, I'll leave links on where you can get them for yourself in the description as well. With that being said, before I leave you with one final look at Super Vegito, thanks for watching, don't forget to leave a like, comment, and sub to support the channel, and I'll see you guys in the next video.